Podcast, episode 81, 81. This is the host of previous one, IBC. And we're back in action. Of course, I'm here with my brothers from another mothers. The fellow four horsemen, of course, one of them is directing someone somewhere, taking him somehow. One and only is not here today, but
directing traffic.
He's directing traffic. That's right. He's directing traffic. And of course, I'm here with Mr. 69 because you give him 69 reasons, 69 answers, and he got 69 questions. And he has a lot of 69 thoughts of what we're going to be talking about today. Yes.
I gotta say, Ivan, this is to Adam Cole. Adam Cole said on tonight's episode of Dynamite that he has a special present for the Elite, like the best present they would like. And I have to say in response to you, Adam Cole, sorry, Adam Cole, you can't get the Young Bucks pregnant. Men can't get pregnant. That's not where babies come from. Somebody needs to tell you that. That's not how it works. I think that's what you're implying. I'm pretty sure that's what you're implying, but somebody's got to give you 69 lessons about that.
Oh, that's right. I love that. That's why he is Mr. 69, Mr. MGC, Matt Callis Steamboat, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, this individual who just not only lives 1,977,000 miles from Winnipeg, Minnesota, Canada, but he is the 5 UNs of the UN, not the actual United Nations, but he could be part of that too, because he is the undisputed, the unmatched, the unrivaled, the unscripted, and the uncensored. And that is Money. By God, the most valuable and violent podcaster, Money Michael.
Yes, absolutely. 81, man. The countdown, I feel it begins. The countdown to 100 begins. And yes, I'm looking forward to that, right? You know, hopefully some surprises coming up soon.
Very, very soon. Good surprises. Good ones. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But yes, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we get into AEW, the winter's coming, we're going to go ahead and get into, very briefly, let's start with Triple Mania, first of all. Let's start with that, since we know we did not have an opportunity to cover it briefly. So I want to get Money Mike's overall thoughts of Triple Mania. So what were your thoughts about the whole event? Did you enjoy it? And how did you see Cain Velasquez and then FTR and seeing El Hijo del Vikingo becoming the Triple Mania Mega World Champion? Congratulations, by the way, for Hijo del Vikingo for winning the Triple Mania Mega World title, by the way.
Which I predicted, by the way.
Yes, you did.
Honestly, I'll say this. I would have wanted Andrade to win back in the last one. I would, which the rumor has it that he was originally supposed to beat Omega for the AAA championship, right? But it didn't happen for obvious reasons. But Hijo del Vikingo, cool. I'm down with that. He showed amongst all the talent there that he's able to hang, and so yeah, definitely well deserved. And I did say last time that I believe that they were going to go ahead with him anyway, even if it was against Omega. So it was just a matter of, okay, well, we're having this match instead, but our plan is set. We're going with him. We're going in this direction. And so, yeah, well deserved. Great match there. So definitely, yes. Lethal and Fish and everybody else, Samurai del Sol and everybody else, I think that they all brought it. So yeah, applause to them, of course. Yes. Cain Velasquez. Maybe I'm in the minority here. I didn't hear much about it after, but I felt like he still needs a little bit more work in the ring. Yes, it's his 4th match ever or something like that. Still single digits. So I understand. And yeah, obviously he's got, preparation to do. So I look forward to what happens in the future, and I'm kind of glad he took the mask off at the end there. I don't see the point in that. It's not like he's Rey Mysterio and most people don't know what he looks like. We've seen this guy win a world championship, heavyweight championship in the UFC, so we know what he looks like. So I don't see, and the mask is not the best looking in my opinion. Let me have it in the comments. That's fine. Yeah, not the best looking in my opinion. FTR, yes, it was cool to see them in Mexico, right? They're like the opposite of what you would expect in Mexico. They're completely out of place, but yet it was great to see them there. I always find it weird, and I haven't seen a lot of AAA, but the crossovering, right? It kind of doesn't make sense, or didn't make sense, for Vicky Guerrero to be there with them. Why couldn't Tully Blanchard head over? I don't know. Maybe they needed somebody, but even then, Vicky Guerrero barely spoke Spanish. So, yeah, I don't see why they put her with them. And yeah, kind of weird take there. However, I did enjoy, and I feel like that kind of brought everything together and sold the match of Lucha Bros coming out earlier saying, hey, Vicky Guerrero, this and that. Last time you came here, you said you were all about Mexico, but now you're not. And they built the story without needing a weekly show. They built the story in just one promo. That's a professional right there, folks. So yeah, in the match, of course, great stuff. Always, man. Lucha Bros always deliver. FTR always delivers. FTR is everywhere nowadays, as I'm sure we'll speak of shortly. So yeah, great stuff overall. And I will say, to cap all of this, it's interesting to see the different presentation that AAA has as opposed to AEW or WWE. Everything American wise, it's so different over there. They have soap ads on the entrance ramp. They have all sorts of different things popping up there, and it's very sponsored, right?
Corona beer,
Corona beer,
beer.
yeah, like popping
Victoria.
up during, yeah. So all that, it's interesting to see, right? Very cool.
Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it.
I will say, Ivan, I think I think who would have been good with FTR. They could have got Jim Cornette to be there, and they could have paid him with una hamburguesa, una
cheese,
hamburguesa,
extra onion, extra pickles, extra mayo, extra mustard. Of course, that's Jim Cornette.
Por una hamburguesa.
Making me hungry, man.
You're making me hungry. That's right. And so let's get into very briefly Ring of Honor final battle, the last pay-per-view for Ring of Honor as they're shutting down, and now they're they're on hiatus until April. Hopefully we see them back. But I can say this pay-per-view was very emotional. Hands down overall, great team, little cameos from CM Punk, from Bryan Danielson, just a lot more giving their thoughts of Ring of Honor, what Ring of Honor meant to them, and it is truly a platform that honestly there wouldn't be an impact. There wouldn't really be in the majority of independent circuits that we have now because of Ring of Honor, because it's a pioneer that it created. And of course, we're gonna miss it, and it sucks that a lot of people are losing their jobs. But hopefully, let's hope they come back, and hopefully we see them strong. But it looks like it because there's a storytelling into this. So I'm gonna let Matt Callis take over on this and give your thoughts overall for Ring of Honor Final Battle, Mr. Matt Callis.
Before I go off on the whole thing, I really need to ask both of you. Did you have both of you watched the last episode of WCW Nitro?
Yes.
Did you guys get those same kind of emotions and feelings watching this? Because it kind of had that that entire atmosphere in the air, the way the announcers are talking on the microphone. I love you. It's been an honor working with you. It's been an honor serving with you, Commander. Like stuff like that. Those final moments and everything like that. I've been seeing the same kind of thing, and I guess kind of their equivalent to the Ring of Honor and AEW's equivalent of the Shane McMahon. The contract says McMahon, but it says Shane McMahon. The equivalent is FTR showing up right after the Briscoes match with the Kingdom. That's actually their equivalent. And I actually have zero doubts that AEW is going to try in, let's see, it's after this month, so it's December, January, February, March. That's 4 months before the April where Ring of Honor makes its comeback. 4 months. That's a long period in the wrestling world. That's a long part of time for storytelling, especially when you have 2 shows weekly. That's a long period of time. In addition to the fact that you also have Impact and New Japan to also tell the story on. So this is going to be the invasion angle done correctly. And they kind of have, because if they don't do an invasion angle, a lot of these angles are basically just going to, it's kind of like going up for the roller coaster, but not dropping. They're just leaving you at the top of the roller coaster for 3 hours. And, you've been anticipating it so long that it's not going to have the same effect if they don't pull the trigger on it right away. So they're, same thing with Deonna Purrazzo, her showing up. They're going to have to do that match either in Impact or AAA or, her match with Roxy, and same thing, Jonathan Gresham. They could he could defend his title on AEW, Impact, NWA, or AAA, like all those different places, or even at Wrestle Kingdom. That the New Japan relationship actually isn't dead, because we still see plenty of New Japan talent show up at Ring of Honor. Rocky Romero was there. That night, and then Okada, they were talking about things Okada said over the air, and they also mentioned Pro Wrestling Noah, all the partnership promotions. They mentioned Billy Corgan, they mentioned Tony Khan. It's a lot of open air. WWE, you wouldn't even hear a peep out of. It's like they wouldn't
never hear that.
You wouldn't even hear a breath of another organization on there in the air. So that's kind of the wonderful thing about this. And of course, Adam Scherr, they could go one of 2 ways with him in AEW. They could either bring him in, he could either be like an ally, like an aggressive ally of the Dark Order, or he could be their direct or the next challenger, for the invasion angle. So
and I still want to hear Jim Cornette's thoughts because they mentioned his name. So I'm waiting for you, Jimmy. I want to hear your thoughts about
especially with FTR and the Briscoes being his top 2 favorite active tag teams.
I'm pretty sure he lost it, and he probably almost had a heart attack while eating a hamburger.
He might actually show up for that match. I think he might actually, because he has so much respect for both of those teams, he might actually show up.
Yeah.
So
it will be interesting to see. Gresham and Liso was fantastic. Oh man, oh my god, that match was very emotional though. And seeing Jordan Grace, which is Gresham's wife, and then seeing everybody celebrating was awesome to see. It was great. I just hope Ring of Honor, comes back, and hopefully, by the looks of it, they're gonna bring back. It looks like they're gonna bring back Gresham for sure, and Titus as well. Ray Titus won the television title in that Fatal 4-Way. He deserves it finally. He's the real, the heart and soul of Ring of Honor. Seeing the Briscoes winning the tag team titles. So yeah, we're gonna see a lot of them probably coming back for sure. Roxy, Deonna Purrazzo, that's something that I would not mind seeing, and I think it would be very intriguing if that just happened in Impact. So I'm looking forward of everything overall, and man, I just can't wait for what the future holds for Ring of Honor, and I'm hoping that they get their shit together and do not allow Vince McMahon or his stooges to fucking buy him out or the library. No, because I know money talks, but no, do not do it. No, delete, obsolete.
At least Tony Khan should get to it before Vince does.
I'm pretty sure he already has, and I have a big feeling that he's going to be a big contributor to Ring of Honor, and I think. Like how a while back, I think we all said it. That could be it's developmental for AEW. That could be maybe I wouldn't call it developmental, but more like their NXT, I guess you could say.
Impact is, kind of a little bit that way too, because you got Impact there, and you have GCW as well. All of them in the mix.
Yeah, I mean it's we have to wait and see in 2022. I'm looking forward to see how the outcome goes. Now let's get into AEW.
Hold on a second here. Hold your horses. I do want to say that I did not catch the entire event from start to finish, but I've seen enough of it that it really, really, really gets me excited. Just like you guys, it gets me excited that I feel like Ring of Honor will go on. Like they said, it's going to be in a different way, but it will go on. The best way they can do that, and I think Matt touched on this, that you have their champions defend their belts somewhere else, right? And like, for example, the Briscoes show up on AEW, defend the titles there. Ring of Honor, that name continues, it lives on, it stays fresh in people's minds.
They're the GCW champions as well right now, which even makes it even more crazy. So
and Matt brought up something very important, and I really would like to kind of go on with this, is the invasion angle, right? Ring of Honor invading AEW or Impact or what have you, or New Japan even. Man, I feel like a missed opportunity at Winter is Coming. It should have started there, in my opinion.
Guess what, Mike? Did you hear what was announced today on Winter is Coming? One of the upcoming events for AEW is called Battle of the Belts. Battle of the Belts. That implies not just AEW. That's multiple promotions, and that's in between. And that's in between, of course, like that's anything before April is Ring of Honor appearing in another promotion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like the guys that they picked to hold on to the titles, it shows a lot of trust, I would say, that they are going to be able to hold on to them in the meantime and keep ROH alive in that way. So yes, I would like to see an invasion angle of some sort, right? 4 months ish, somewhere around there, give or take, is enough for something like that to come and go, I would say, right? So yeah, that could happen, hopefully.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, both of you guys. That could happen. That could be the case for Battle of the Belts. That'll be very intriguing to see if that does happen. I'll be shocked. But I mean, until then, we'll have to wait and see what will be the outcome of that. But yes, you brought it up. Winter is coming. Well, let's talk about what's coming right now. That's AEW. Winter is coming. Let's talk about the opening match. You had an Iron Man match. The main event began the show. 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour of this epic, phenomenal, immaculate, atrocious. Oh man, it's just so much words I can put into it.
Were you about to say atrocious?
No, I was going to, but I held myself back. I was like, no, astonishing. I was over looking at it.
Astonishing. Yes.
Yes. Man, just amazing, incredible. Man, Jesus, woo! Brought a tear my eye because it was, oh my God, it was just so emotional, the match. But before let's just get it over with. All right, so we did see Adam Hangman Page defending the AEW World Title versus Bryan Danielson, and it turns out, a draw. The limit was over. The 1 hour limit was over, but the whole match overall was fantastic. I know the crowd was not happy about it at all, and I hate to say it, and I'm gonna say it too. I was not happy either. There should have been a winner in this match. This cannot be a rematch. You can't do this 2 times in a row. You can't have an Omega. You can't. I know you're trying to protect Bryan Danielson, but this is by far of what I've seen. He's the only individual, which I'll ask you, Money Mike, in the ranking systems that has 2 draws. I don't know anybody else in the ranking system that has 2 draws.
No, nobody.
Nobody's the only one. This is like, what? What's up with that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you make this a draw? This should have been Adam Hangman winning over Bryan Danielson. This was his match. This was his his first title defense. And that's what gets to me the most, is that this is his first title defense. He should have gone over Bryan, and that would have been it. And now it looks like that chapter is not going to close. Something tells me, I know there's no rematch clauses, but something tells me along the line it will be eventually. But then what's next now after that? So that's, that's what I question. Unless they break that rule and then allow Bryan Danielson to get his rematch. I don't know what the plans is on this, but this one, honestly, whoever called this one, if Tony Khan did, it was a bad call. Don't get me wrong, the match was great, but the outcome of it, the conclusion should have been Adam Hangman Page winning over Bryan Danielson and move on with that. That's what it should have happened. So I'll take it to you, Matt Callis, with your thoughts.
I gotta say, I wouldn't say it's the worst. It's not the worst outcome we could have gotten, because I'd say the worst possible outcome is if, because a few companies have done this where they allow the belt to exchange hands through count out. To change hands through count out. So like the champion won't retain when there's a count out. So, and I'm kind of glad that's not the case, because that's kind of what was in my mind the whole time. It's like, they're not going to do anything like that, would they? I mean, in a way, the main thing I'm happy about is Hangman retaining. That's the most important kind of, from the outlook of what makes sense as this new babyface. Because, the best thing is that you didn't bury Hangman Page. That's the main thing. But Hangman is definitely more than credible enough to get a clean win over Bryan Danielson, especially at this time, and especially for a match like that. But I guess maybe they want to save it for a special gimmick match. Maybe I Quit. What do you guys think?
No, I Quit. I don't know. It's tough.
I don't know. Like, maybe Hangman's got to add a submission move to his arsenal, or something like that. And I think the other thing to kind of look into, all the much love to the let's not look at the dessert of this meal, let's look at the entree to what was most delicious, all the match itself,
Yes.
because the entree was yummy, wasn't it, guys?
Oh,
Yes.
delightful.
Yes, very.
Splendid. Yeah.
It was just a gross dessert that they served us right after. That's pretty
Yes.
much just kind of what spoiled it.
Not good shit.
Indeed. So, good sirs. And it's the thing the waiters brought out first to us as we entered the restaurant that is AEW Dynamite Winter's Coming. No, another similar meal, two similar meals that are to look into, that will give you kind of an idea into like the psychology and the moves of the match. Let's look at 2 of their past opponents, because I was thinking like the good B-side, like kind of the opposite of this match. Not the opposite, but like kind of who their past opponents are. Hangman was against Kenny Omega, and Bryan Danielson was against Naomichi Marufuji. So a match I really suggest to everybody who loved this match is to watch Kenny Omega versus Marufuji in DDT, because those 2 went on to face the 2 people we saw in this match. So you could kind of see what they've learned, what Bryan Danielson's learned from Marufuji and what Hangman's learned from Kenny, their previous opponents. And I'm seeing a little bit of, I think Hangman kind of wants to get the Okada out of Danielson from this, because what the second Okada Kenny Omega match was a time limit draw, and it was a long one too. So, and a lot of people loved it. So I'm thinking maybe that's what Hangman was kind of going for with this. He wanted to, like, maybe Kenny was maybe like agenting him, hey, just kind of work Danielson the way I worked Okada. They're big, but you could, get yourself over big time with it, and kind of save the big win, later on down the line. So maybe that's what he's going for.
Money Mike.
It's interesting that you compare it to these great matches, yes, and it took me back to Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, where there was no pinfall, right, or anything at the end of the initial hour. A part of me thought that Tony Khan was going to come out and say 10 more minutes.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
That would have been everybody would have lost their minds. Maybe they want to save that for Revolution.
I mean, it would be all right, but I don't know, to go through another Iron Man match. But then again, these two are at the top of their game, so I'm pretty sure they'll be able to pull it off. It was surprising to me. First commercial break, second commercial break, third commercial break, fourth. I think it was 4 commercial breaks that happened, and picture in picture and all that. Right. So yeah, it was a long match. Yes. But it really builds up Hangman, I think, as a legit wrestler here, because not anybody can do Iron Man matches, right? I don't think we'll see Goldberg in one anytime soon.
No.
So no.
I think guys, your mention of that almost gave me a relapse, Mike.
I think Goldberg's entire WWE run would be less than an hour. So there's that. Regardless of length and anything of that, in order to be one of those champions in any sport, you have to be tested. You have to be put through the ringer, and I feel this was that, and especially in the ring, in the ring action, ring psychology, right? To become a ring general, you need to go through those kinds of matches, and this was such a school of hard knocks for Hangman, and this is going to take him up to that next level for sure. And who better than Bryan Danielson to make that happen, right? I'm sure Danielson was leading the way, especially as heel. For my understanding, the heels are usually the ones that are calling the spots there. So yeah, definitely. This is great for Hangman, but I'll say this: I wanted Danielson to win.
What?
Yes.
What? What? What the fuck?
Yes, I wanted Danielson to win, and going in, I thought that's what was going to happen.
What?
My initial thought was that Hangman was going to have to regain the title, the hero's journey once again. You have to fight adversary and all that stuff, which is why in another interview he mentioned that he wanted ultimately to have his own group in AEW. And I thought, well, this could be a good opportunity for his group to show up finally, and for Danielson to take the title, have it for a couple of months, and Hangman fight through his group because Danielson did it with Dark Order. Now it's Hangman's turn to go up against Bryan Danielson's group, and then ultimately get the title back. So that's what I thought was going to happen, but obviously not. So there you go.
What? Like, why would you? I get your point. But that was too soon though. Like, no, that would be too soon. I mean, it wouldn't. For me, if that would have happened, all that build up for the whole year will be a waste of time for Adam Hangman. For the whole fucking year for him to wait to finally got the belt, you're gonna tell me he's gonna drop it to Bryan Danielson in 1 year that he's been fighting to get it?
Listen, this is Danielson we're talking about here. This is not Fuego del Sol. No offense, Fuego. Big fan. I mean, it's not like he's losing it to Joe Schmo, right? He's losing it to Bryan Danielson, you know.
Yes, but I get that, and I respect Bryan Danielson. You know, obviously, come on, the guy is a freaking multi-time world champion. We don't have to go through his credentials. We already know it. But this could have been something for Adam to be like, okay, I'd be the top guy from WWE, and you know, and Bryan put him over for, you know, and how you said it. The whole course was delicious, but that dessert, it was just like, bleh. No, it should have been different. It should have been Adam Hangman.
You know, Hangman, I wouldn't say he's my favorite wrestler, but just in terms of storyline, I you know, at least if it was dropped, I'd want like somebody coming through that tunnel to coming through the tunnel to challenge, you know, right away, you know, another baby face that I like, you know. And personally, I would, you know, just because it's me, I would ask for Marufuji and Shibata to come through that tunnel. Both of them, just one after the other.
I knew you were.
But that's the only way I would have been okay with Danielson winning. But you know, to each his own.
Okay. All right. Now, this is where let's move on with that. Now, I want to move up to this promo because this promo caught me off guard, and I guess this is something that now, or this is maybe the character that I would say Connecticut missed out on. Malachi Black's promo, that vignette. Maybe that was what he was trying to aim for in WWE when he, you know, he saw him with the I don't know, it was the Bible, I don't know, whatever the Bible, I don't know if it's a Titanic Bible, I do not know, do not want to know. But what I know is that maybe this is the character he wanted to develop in Connecticut, and he's doing it here perfectly. Honestly, I was like, am I watching what the hell am I watching here? But I'm watching a movie. And then giving that individual the necklace, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be Julia Hart. It has to be her. I mean, we don't want to miss that. What happened last week with the mist in her eyes? Okay, what about it now? You tell me the whole mist is like a poison, like what is it called? There's a word to it. Jesus Christ, I don't bring it forward. Like if you're being conceived, like consumed by
baptism.
You're being baptized.
Like or kind of like being infected, kind of like a zombie.
Yeah, you could say it's, yeah. I mean, do you feel
like a zombie or a vampire?
Yes.
So werewolf.
And then probably a couple weeks later, Julia Hart is gonna come up with a little puppet.
Let's hope
it's just gonna have the coffee falling out of her forehead again, like Folger's coffee.
Could it be Abaddon? I wouldn't mind if it was Abaddon. That would be cool.
That would be perfect.
It's like Legos. It just fits right in, man.
Yes. But I mean, what are you guys' thoughts? I'm gonna do money like this vignette. I like it though. I love it. I don't know how you look.
Oh yes, it's all kinds of. It's what you expect from Malachi. Absolutely. Who is in that little costume there? Who knows, right? I think that having Julia Hart be it. I don't know. It reminds me of The Fiend and Alexa Bliss there a little bit. But who knows? Maybe AEW will do their version better. And you know, especially coming out that next week, I believe, or Friday, is going to be not Jungle Boy. What's his name? Griff Garrison. yes, against Malachi Black, and that would be a great, part for that. He did mention House of Black, right? And you got to have more than one person in your house. So yes, you got to assemble the team. Butcher and Blade, they belong there, man. They would fit right in
I like that.
as their his protectors or whatever, or whenever he has a rivalry, his rival is going to be trying to get to Malachi but beating up Butcher and Blade all the time. Yeah, I could see that happening, and they have the look for it. So yeah, there back to Malachi. This guy has it. He has it. I could potentially say like modern day Undertaker. Comment below. Give me all of it.
Give Money Mike all the ruthless aggression. Just give it all.
Please let me have it.
It's been a week, ladies and gentlemen. So of course he needs to hear it. He needs to hear it. Yes. But yes, now let's get into the Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida match. Well, I can tell you that the first hour took a lot away from these matches and were kind of shortened, unfortunately. But it's fine though. I mean, it was fine. I wasn't mad about it. But this match was grudge. Enjoyed it. I wish, like I said again, I'm gonna digress no matter what. Give these women their time. Give them their time. They needed that time. And honestly, I was expecting them to kind of main event it, to be honest. And yeah, I guess it never happened. So I honestly expected the women to main event Dynamite, but it did not happen. I love the fact that, Serena, she reminds me of Bret Hart, man. They're doing that Bret Hart, that sharpshooter pose right there, and then the ring pose. Man, the woman of 1,000 holds, this woman is spectacular. And I love this. I just want I know this rivalry. I hope this will be a trilogy. It has to be. There has to be one more match. Or wait, there's already 3, right? This is 31. There has to be one more at least to end it all. I just wish they had more time. So that means Hikaru's 2-0 then, right? 2-1, right? Okay, so maybe this could be over, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it could be over. But I just wish
2-1. 2-1.
2-1. There you go. 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. I wish it could have been more, but we'll see. So I'll take it to you, Money Mike. Your thoughts about the match?
Yeah, technical, right? It's what Serena Deeb is known for. Time. It all comes back to it, right? It all comes back to the time. And honestly, like, it was tough to follow the championship match, right? It's tough to be on a show after something like that. And yeah, honestly, I don't understand. I mean, I guess I kind of understand why they had the title match first, but I feel like it made it difficult for everything afterwards. Even the MJF match, I feel like by the time that match was halfway going, I was barely, recovering still from the Iron Man match. And but as far as the women's match, it required more story, in my opinion. I would have wanted to see more involving them two, wanting that third match. It almost felt like the match just came randomly. I would have wanted Shida to be asking like Tony Khan or Tony Schiavone, like, hey, I won my rematch. She cost me the TBS championship. Let me at it, or all that stuff, like the anger. She cost you the TBS championship. That means something, and you're out for revenge. And I wish they would have kind of ran with that a little bit, not rush this third match. And if it needed to be at Battle of the Belts or something, or down the line, whatever, then so be it. But I feel like they kind of wanted to maybe not rush it, but kind of get it out of the way to see what is next for them. So yeah, hopefully this was enough for Deeb and Shida to be able to catapult them to new storylines. And yeah, 2-1. I don't think they'll have another.
All right. Matt Callis, you're on mute.
Yeah, I was just coughing, and now I'm uncoughing. So, so one of the main things to get from Sheeta versus Serena Deeb, I gotta say, this match for sure has never happened. Correct? Bret Hart versus the Great Muta. That has never happened
No,
ever.
not my
So
correction. No.
this is actually one of the closest things we'll get to that in this world. That's kind of what makes this so special. I'm because one of the main things is Hikaru Shida, she uses the Shining Wizard as one of her, killing, defeating moves. And that's the Great Muta's finisher, the Shining Wizard, Keiji Muto. And she uses that same move as like a finisher, or like an almost finisher. And she has a lot of, Muta's habits and abilities in her moveset, kind of like how Serena Deeb is Bret Hart. So I'm kind of hoping, we get to see this kind of, there's different places they could take this, but I'd like them. We could have our first women's cage match is kind of where I hope they take this eventually.
Okay.
It seems very fitting, because I mean, I never Great Muta versus Bret Hart in a cage. That's a dream come true. That's love. That's a delicious dish, I must say. Very well prepared, all the sides and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're making me hungry, man. Jesus. All right. Now let's get into the main event for winners coming, and that is Dante Martin versus MJF for the Diamond Ring. Oh, wow, that's right. Man, what a fan. Spectacular. I feel bad for his partner in crime, but Dante has won me over, though, as a singles competitor. The only thing I could say I'm disappointed, it made no sense with the whole Taz situation. That's where I'm like at loss. So wait a minute, you just only had him for not even a week, and then you took him off. You spread him up from Real Rush. You put him with Team Taz. You split him up very quickly. Now he's on his own. What's up with that? What do you? I'm lost. That's where I'm like, all right, you're trying these different things. Okay. Well, why even? I wouldn't even done it. I actually would have loved for him to stay in Team Taz. Actually, I wanted to see that heel persona, that heel high flyer. That's what I kind of want to see. I don't mind seeing that. That's something that I actually would enjoy to see. A heel high flyer. I mean, yeah, you had it in Neil Rush when he was in NXT and WWE, but he was limited to his attributes. But this would have been something quite different because Taz has a powerhouse, Will Hobbs, and he has the cocky with the strut, Ricky Starks. Now you have your son, by the way, man, Hook, what a debut, man, son of a bitch. Man, and with the action, the action, Bronson, the theme song, man, dedicating your dad's moves, like, oh my God, I enjoyed it, man. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good shit. I enjoyed it, and looking very arrogant too, man. Son of a bitch, Hook. I cannot wait to see more of his matches. Too bad, Will. I'm sorry, big fan, but you were a sacrifice. You were the lamb.
Huge sacrifice.
Yes. But yes, and then adding Dante Martin to the mix, your evil high flyer, that's great combination there. You have a technician, you have a powerhouse, you have a cocky, strut guy, and a high flyer. Perfect combo for Team Taz. I would have enjoyed it if he would have stayed with Taz, with the team. But unfortunately, it did not happen. That's where I'm giving AEW their mistakes. You see, we're not here as AEW marks, ladies and gentlemen. We are professional wrestling, fans that we enjoyed, and we critique every individual promotion, not just only one. So we don't bash here on WWE.
Ivan, I would actually kind of say it's a bit of a stretch of a comparison, but it kind of reminds me of like when Sting was joining the Four Horsemen type thing.
Yeah, I know where you're getting at, and I agree with that. It's kind of also like what Brian Pillman when he
joined the Four Horsemen as well.
Four Horsemen, because he was a high flyer, high flying Brian Pillman. So I mean, it's almost similar to that, but it just would have been. I think would have worked. But yes, the match overall, this one was great. That shooting star press from outside of the ring. Oh my god, I was scared. But I enjoyed it overall. And of course, MJF retained, third year in a row, him as the Diamond Ring champion. And of course, we did see Stang, and Darby Allin coming out, attacking FTR. And of course, they got jumped. And we see, of course, CM Punk. Like, I'm not a busted Jim Cornette. He sings a song like Mussolini and
hamburguesas. Like por una cabeza.
But now, are we going to get a 6-man tag coming up for them at the Holiday Bash, I believe it is, right? So, Money Mike, thoughts?
Okay, first of all, get that ring off of MJF, please. Yes, that ring means nothing. It's his. It's his. He doesn't even put it on the line. I would like to see somebody else take that ring and see what they do with it, right?
Yes.
I would have wanted Dante Martin to win it, personally. He's gaining momentum, and but I digress, right? So what comes to mind is Dante Martin's ring gear that he had made was orange and black to match Team Taz. What's gonna happen to that? You can't wear that anymore. It's money wasted there, I would say.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting to see that he was just used for a week, I guess, or less than a week, and now he's out of Team Taz. But what happened to the contract? Taz kind of gave some halfway explanation there to the contract signing, and okay, well, I guess that's it. He's out of Team Taz, even though there was a contract. Sloppy storytelling. Absolutely open-ended, unless they come up with some sort of legit explanation in the next few weeks. But hopefully it's something that is explained and used to further a storyline here, because Dante Martin, where is he with Leo Rush again, or are they buddies now again? And where does Leo fit in all of this? Like, did he forgive him for turning his back on him? Unanswered questions. And at this point, I feel like they should have thought through what was going to happen. And if it were up to me, the whole Team Taz thing would have never have happened. It came out of nowhere to begin with.
Yes.
Like out of nowhere. They just said, "Oh, well, we want this guy now," And as for Hook, brief mention, sorry, Fuego del Sol, but yes, he was sacrificed. And I saw on social media that Fuego didn't seem too happy about it, and so I hope that they use him for something else. If I sidebar, I do think that he should get rid of the mask and do something else. But that's just me. Anywho.
Well, there is the whole Fuego 1, Fuego 2 thing with Cody as Fuego 2. So that might happen. If the Cody hate continues, then Cody Cognito might come out. But so Cody might go the silly route, and more people might like him more as Cody instead.
Right. We did talk about that, I believe, last episode. But yeah, I think the whole Fuego del Sol thing is not working for him. Change it up, man.
Yeah,
join Andrade if you want.
Yes.
I'll say about Hook real quickly. You know, that's one way. Like usually, second generation wrestlers get a lot of hate because the people say, "Oh, silver spoon," and you know this and that. But if you bring them in as a heel, you know they get a chance to actually like grow on people's like, okay, you're supposed to boo me, so you know it's fine. It's
Right.
like Randy Orton. You know, it worked perfectly because he was a heel from the start. You know, he was a babyface for a short minute, but not that long.
Hmm.
You know, Hook never a babyface,
Which
so
is
he's
good.
yeah.
Yeah. Is there a little bit of dare I say nepotism? I'm sure here and there, but it's easy to silence that with the performance that he gave. And the Muay Thai look, oh yeah. The Muay Thai shorts and the rapping and stuff, very, very cool. It was the whole package there, I would say, especially for a young guy. Very, very cool. So I look forward to seeing what happens with him. As far as this match, I feel like I kind of got derailed here. Um, as far as this match, it was great to see MJF with a high flyer. I don't think that happens as much as I would like for it to happen.
No.
You know, it was the dynamic between the two of them was cool to see, and MJF just walking away from the offensive maneuvers that Dante Martin was setting up. Just you don't have to come up with a crazy counter. You just walk away or roll away, whatever, and that's it. So very cool match overall.
Awesome, awesome. And now, like, let's get into it now with the preview for AEW Rampage. So we do have a lot of 8-man tags. So let's start with the one: the Young Bucks, Bobby Fish, Adam Cole versus Best Friends. So of course, Orange Cassidy, Best Friends, and Rocky Romero as Trent making his in-ring return. That's right. And of course, you have the Lucha Bros and Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz versus Daniel Garcia 2.0 and the Acclaim. And of course the return of Dan Lambert, which I know he's probably disappointed. I know you are, after a shocking upset of what happened in UFC 269. By the way, you can watch the recap, ladies and gentlemen, here on our YouTube channel, as the one and only is the host, as he gives his thoughts of what happened on UFC 269. So you can listen to that on any audio platforms or on our YouTube channel. You can watch it. And of course, we do have Tay Conti versus Penelope Ford in a submission match. So I'll go back to you, Money Mike. What are you looking forward for Rampage? Now, this card is not that bad. It's actually pretty stacked. What are you looking forward to? He's on mute right now.
Oh,
there you go.
So, yeah. They're trying to trick me here. The internets. I'm looking forward to the tag match, right? I'm looking forward to that. I believe that's the main event, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right.
The Darby and CM Punk and all that. Yeah, cool match. Cool to thunk it, man.
Well, that's next Wednesday. But we're talking
that's
about
next Wednesday. Oh, okay. I'm so excited. I want it now. Yes. So I'm kind of looking sort of forward to it. Some of the matches seem predictable to me. Like, for example, the Ty Conti and Penelope Ford. I'm pretty sure we all know who's gonna win that. Yes. So it's a little predictable. And we all know how she's going to win. Submission. Well, it is a submission match. But yeah, I think Rampage needs to pick it up, and it kind of brings up a different topic of how AEW has been doing with Rampage. It all started with CM Punk, debuting there, and all this hype and record numbers for Rampage to not so much, right? So I feel it does bring up that conversation of they gotta do something different, and they gotta stop filming it before, because it loses interest of people already knowing what's going to happen by tapings and all that stuff. So I would like for them to kind of step it up with this show.
Okay. All right, Matt Callis, how do you feel about that? Do you agree?
It's I just mentioned Great Muda earlier in the match. So what a thing. I didn't even know Penelope Ford had the Muda lock in her arsenal, you know. But I wouldn't say like Penelope Ford's a heel that a lot of people are like up on or like crazy about. Everybody's just kind of like, you know, like ever since the whole wedding thing, everybody's just like, her again. So, I mean, come on. The great thing about the Forbidden Door is that we could always have somebody we're more interested in coming through the portal. So who knows? Maybe this just leads up to, something in the future. Maybe we could have somebody else from Ring of Honor come through that portal. So, to challenge Tay Conti after she wins, because we kind of, have the feel. Or they could go some kind of goofy way with the finish. Who knows?
Yeah. In regards for Rampage, I'm looking forward to. Because I want to see Trent. I want to see how he looks now. It's been a while since we haven't seen him in the ring, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in the ring. It's like, man, it's a reunion. It's like, Rokagi Pum Vice, and you have best friends, and then you have pretty much chaos. Like, it's just such good shit there. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Lucha Bros and Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston. I'm looking forward to seeing that too, because what is the last time you ever seen these individuals tag? And this is something, and remind you with the rivalry that the Lucha Bros and LAX with Impact at the time were phenomenal matches they had an Impact.
Ivan, do you think it's kind of weird that I get to say Okada and Sue are both part of Chaos?
Yes.
It's like Hiroki Goto and Okada riding in a van with Sue.
I want to see Toru Yano riding in the van with Sue. That's what I want to see.
Toru Yano, Okada, Hiroki Goto, and
Tomohiro
Sue.
Ishii.
Just Tomohiro Ishii. All of them just speaking Japanese. So you Japanese boys want to go to Yoshinoya? Go to the drive-through? Just like something like, where are they going with this?
I have no idea where they're going with this. But another point that Mike brought up, yes, I'm with you on the rating wise. They do have to work on it. Of course, right now, we know SmackDown's the #1 show right now. But one thing is for a fact, they're beating Raw. Their numbers are beating Raw in the demographics for sure.
When you say they, who do you refer to?
By a Rampage. If I exclude Rampage out of it,
wait. Rampage is beating Raw?
If we don't put it that way, yes. If I exclude Dynamite, Rampage is beating Raw more in the demographics. So they're beating
that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. But they're not beating SmackDown. SmackDown is too much. You have the Tribal Chief. Devin, I know you're watching this and I know you're gonna listen. Love you, bro. But yes, so SmackDown's card, they're stacked. So I mean, they're more the #1 show right now for WWE, AEW, of course. And then the time that Rampage has, there's no way. I mean, it's kind of difficult for them to, with the time slot they're in, it's hard, to even have to improve the ratings. Because what time do they start in our time? 8:00 Pacific time, 10:00, 11:00 Eastern over there. So it's going to be tough for them to even get the viewership they have. I mean, it barely reaches. They're at least in between the 800s and 700s. At least, I would say. The most, probably they would lower like 600. Overall viewership, not the demographics. But, they do have a lot of improvement. I still would like to add another hour to Rampage. That's what I would do. Add it, make it 2 hours. Might as well. Take that extra hour, use it. And the way how they're doing with Dark and Elevation, they're filming all that at the Universal in Orlando. That's fine. I actually enjoyed it. It's not bad at all. It's perfect. It makes sense for them to do that. Better way to develop your upcoming talents. And why not? I have no problem with that. Even with the limited crowd. So that's fine. But yes, I'm looking forward for the holiday bash. I'm looking forward to, because now you have Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes for the TNT World Title. You have MJF and FTR versus CM Punk and Sting and Darby Allin. and Malachi Black versus Griff Garrison, and more to come. So we're looking forward to seeing that, and we will cover that next week for sure. Now let's get into it very briefly. Pro wrestling news, but as a matter of fact, before we begin pro wrestling news, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to, and this is off subject for professional wrestling because I just want to get it off my chest. For all our Latin Americans, our Latino America que está escuchando y viendo nuestro canal de YouTube, aquí le damos más I can't even say tribute in Spanish.
Tributo.
El tributo para el rey de los reyes, señor Chente Vicente Hernández, que paz descanse a los 81 años. Que paz descanse. He was my idol too, as my fathers, as my great grandfathers as well. So that's just off the subject of pro wrestling. Vicente Hernández. Yes.
I have to say that if anybody is out there that has not heard Vicente Fernandez's music, give it a watch, give it a listen, check out his music videos. This man was an actor, and a musician, a singer, a great one. So for anybody out there that is interested in Mexican music culture, he is a big part of music culture in Mexico and in Latin America. Give it a listen for sure. A lot and translate the lyrics, because the lyrics are where the gold is, in my opinion. Great songwriter, and the emotion in the music is definitely worth checking out. So definitely check it out.
Most definitely. There you go. We got to take a little small break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back, and then the last topic will be the pro wrestling news, because did he purposely got fired? And you'll see who we're talking about. And someone stayed and not leaving. And then we confirmed 2 are already gone for sure. They did not resign. So we're going to give our thoughts. What's next for them? What's going to happen? Are they going to show up where we think they're going to show up? So we'll be right back after this quick, brief message from Circle of Bay Tools. We'll be back.
It's tough.
Five, 7, 2, 5, 7, 1, 2.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Circle of the Bay Podcast. And yes, you will be seeing in our YouTube channel, and these 2 gentlemen do not know, but I'm going to make the announcement. You will be seeing on Circle Debate for the first time, as Circle Debate will be hosting a full wrestling show, which happened on December 9th, but it has not been seen. and you will be able to watch it here on our YouTube channel. The full event, Christmas Chaos of Old Fashioned Wrestling. You would watch it here. Commentary by, of course, CEO and the owner of Old Fashioned Wrestling, Garrett Winberg. He will be commentating alongside, of course, yours truly here, the devious one, Ivan C, as he will be making his debut of commentating. And that is right, ladies and gentlemen. I will be making my debut commentating for Old Fashioned Wrestling for Christmas Chaos. That it's in the works right now. The finishing touches are almost there. You will be seeing that coming soon. You'll see the date announcement. You'll get that, and you're able to watch the full show from the start all the way till the end of the show. So stay tuned.
Telling me for free?
For free.
Ooh.
For free. Not on Fight TV, not on IWTV, nor in any or Twitch or Patreon.
Peacock?
Nor the cock.
No.
Nor the cock. No, you will be watching it here on our Circle Debate YouTube channel. So all of our audio platform listeners who are listening to this, and you might want to subscribe. You might want to subscribe and you get that notification, because you'll be watching the matches that we were there, which was Viva Van versus Zeta Zhang, the first time ever to meet for the PCW Ultra Women's Champion. And of course, you had Alex Hammerstone defending the PCW Ultra versus Slice Boogie. Fantastic match. You will see it. I'm not going to spoil it. You will watch it, but you'll see a blog for it, at least a mini vlog, a mini preview of what's to come for the full show. Papo Esco versus Jordan Cruz. And you will see, of course, Class versus Kevin Blackwood, John Wolfgang versus Mr. Classic, and of course Dallas King versus Rob Shit. So much great, matches that happen. So stay tuned, as we will be hosting the show here on our channel, the full show. Thank you for Old Fashioned Wrestling and PCW Ultra, our fellow sponsors for our Circle Debate, and of course Wrestling Guide Store as well. Don't forget 10% off of all your purchases, and support Mr. David Gomez as well. And belated birthday for Mr. David Gomez as well, as his birthday was last Thursday, so a week ago, excuse me. But yes, though that's the fellow announcement that you'll be seeing. And now let's start with the pro wrestling news. Can I just say this right now? This is part of pro wrestling news. Matt Cardona is impressing me right now, ever since he's been all over the indie circuit. And now that he's going for the 10 pounds of gold, him making his debut in NWA, attacking Trevor Murdoch. I'm loving this heelish persona of Matt Cardona, and he's winning me over, man. I've always been a big fan of his work, very underrated. And the funny thing is, he pushed himself over to get where he's at now, being the internet champion, posting all those YouTube channels and everything else, and now creating his own toy figure, toy line figure coming out, and having a toy figure, action figure Major League podcast and everything else. It's amazing, and kudos to Matt Cardona, man. That man deserves credit where it's credit's due. And him going for the NWA World Title, woohoo! I'm enjoying it. I don't know how you enjoy it, Matt Catalyst. What do you think?
Matt Cardona, he's almost going to be like the outer world belt collector, because I kind of hope he gets both. Like, if he gets back the GCW and the Impact title and the NWA, he's going to be like the outer solar system planet, kind of
Pluto,
collect, and then kind of outside coming back in, GCW, Impact, and NWA. Geez, like if I was, and who knows, he could go against Jonathan Gresham for that title. So if I was kind of a free agent wrestler that was kind of loosely associated with AEW, I'd want to be in Matt Cardona's shoes. I like to be, like, with all due respect to the promotions, the big fish in the small pond, because when you're in AEW, you're kind of competing for that, that top spot, and you have a lot of other people in that pecking order that you have to wait, or prove yourself against. But in the outer world, you could build yourself up in that outer world. It's like I'm former Ring of Honor champion, I'm former Impact, I'm former MWA, former Ring of Honor, former AAA. You know, I'm that. If I was a wrestler, I'd want to be Matt Cardona right now. I would want to be in his shoes, except for when it comes to death matches, because that hurts like hell.
Yes. Money Mike.
I'll say this: when it comes to Chelsea Green, I wouldn't mind it being in certain shoes too. I'll say that.
Careful.
With all due respect, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
You are TVMA though, but yeah.
Yes. I'll say that. Yeah, man, Cardona is such a workhorse. He's turned into this outer world collector, as Matt would say. Yes. However, a part of me wishes that Nick Aldis was still holding on to that belt, so we would have gotten Aldis versus Cardona. I don't know if that's happened ever in the history of history, but I would have wanted to see that match instead. But you know, it is what it is, and man, I can't help but root for the guy. I hope he wins. I hope he wins that title and you know, holds it up high in the air and finally is a world champion. Right? How cool would that be?
That would be.
You know, it's such a prestigious title, really. And for Cardona to win that, it would add to his resume, of course. And yes, so it reminds me of what Jon Moxley is doing. Jon Moxley is another guy that up until recently, of course, get well, Mr. Moxley, he's been going all over the place, winning titles and you know, putting on stellar matches with people that you know, normally he probably wouldn't have gotten into the ring with because, you know, WWE and all that. But now he can. And same thing with Cardona. So yeah, absolutely great stuff, Mr. Zack Ryder, because I've been watching Zack Ryder since Z True Long Island Story way back in the day. Yes, sir. Representing the LI, drinking Bud Light limes, of course.
And now drinking PBRs now. PBRs.
Oh yes, he's a PBR guy now. So there's the go. I've always wondered what happened to Chiappetta and the Big O. So, but I'll leave that there.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, good luck, Matt. Hopefully you do, Matt Cardona. Let's see. See, your brother Matt over here is cheering for you, so there you go.
Long Island, and I've never been there in my life. I've never been to Long Island. I gotta say, Ivan, the name escapes me, but you know, a certain female wrestler is making her debut in AEW Dark. I think she used to be in our intros. Her name escapes me.
Oh, she already made her debut. Heather Monroe. She was already, yes. Not the
AEW
first time
Dark.
she debuted. She already debuted before. This happened this past week, and Sita Zhang made her debut. Marina Shafir has been making her debut as of late, and if you go back and look at the match against Chris Statler, that was a good match. They really showcased her very well, and this is where I could tell that they never gave her the opportunity in NXT where she was supposed to be given. And man, she could go in the ring. She really reminds me of, what can I say, like a little bit of Ken Shamrock, a little bit of Dan Severn. Actually, I actually like the technicality that she has. Man, I cannot wait for her career to, you know, elevate more and hopefully gets a spot in AEW in the women's division. You need someone like that. Why not? You know, or an NWA. You never know. But yes, and now with the, well, before that, New Japan very quickly. Want to congratulate, of course, Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi for winning the World Tag League tournament. Again, they defeated Evil and I can't believe I forgot. I'm stuck. Hiroshu, right? I mean, was it Hiroshi? Yes. So they defeated him. They defeated him in the finals to win the World Tag League, and of course, Matt went crazy because he went because Shibata announced he will be making his return On what date, Matt? What? Let the world know.
January 4th.
Oh, I thought it was
Katsuyori
Rusev Day.
Shibata. Yeah. Katsuyori Shibata is making his official, because he had another match that was kind of an exhibition. It was kind of more of a grappling, but this is his official return to a full-on wrestling. Is January 4th. Katsuyori Shibata is coming back to the ring. And for those of you who don't know him, you will know his students. We know his students. We've talked to his students, and you're gonna meet and you'll see his students capturing gold at almost every promotion out there. He's kind of like, one of the great wrestling teachers of this generation. And who knows, he's a future champion waiting to happen. I wouldn't mind him taking every single belt from every single organization.
Yeah.
He's one of the best comeback stories of 2021, Katsuyori Shibata.
He made me cry, man, when he had that emotional speech, even though I don't understand Japanese, but it makes sense why. Because that day, January 4th, marks the day he had this head injury. And, basically, I could say that marks is the day that he suffered a head injury. That's like 1,731 days. So what, 2017, I would say. That's a long time. So, man, Woody was diagnosed with that. So it's emotional for him, and for him to make a comeback, oh man, I cannot wait. Shibata, if you guys do not know who Shibata is, YouTube his matches or subscribe to NewJapanWorld.com and you can see it there. All right, and now let's get into it with the release of course. Yes, he was gone. He's been deleted and obsoleted from the WWE. And because they offered him to go back to rehab, he said no.
You say you don't want to go to rehab. I said no senton bomb.
No senton bomb, none of that. I mean, if it is as a case, I wish Jeff Hardy the best, but he didn't make an announcement on Matt Hardy's Twitch. He's making a meet and greet because he's performing, and so he's doing that at least. So in regards for his in-ring, appearances, a lot of people are saying that or speculating that he got himself purposely let go because he was tired of the where they were going with him in WWE. And so he decided just to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to do something purposely. And so there's room, Matt Hardy keeps throwing might see Team Extreme one last time together. And it might happen in All Elite Wrestling, but I'm not going to jump the gun and say that it's going to happen anytime soon. He still has to face 90-day clause because it's a release. It's not a free agent automatically. And we'll just have to wait and see if he does show up in AEW. But I'm assuming that Tony Khan will probably be asking to prove, hey, buddy, if you're going to be coming over here, just like I said, John Moxley, to go to rehab, I got to see your rehab proof, that you are coming in clean and safe for, performers and the fans as well. So I owe you money, Mike. Do you feel that Jeff Hardy did this on purpose?
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those things where I'm pretty sure he's been talking to Matt, and Matt's like, dude, come on down, man. Why are you wasting your time over there? They're having you running around behind R-Truth and the 24/7 belt. You are a former world champion. Yeah, what are you doing over there? Come to AEW. Let's do this one more time. And why not? I mean, okay, I have to imagine that a lot of the talent there, except Kevin Owens, is probably tired of how they're being booked over there. And Jeff Hardy probably, it was never said, as far as I know, it was never said that it was drugs or anything. They tested him apparently, but the results haven't come in. And it's kind of weird that they would let him go before finding out the actual evidence, the actual test results, right? Why would you let someone go without proof, right, of what you're accusing or whatever of? So yeah, the whole situation is a little weird as far as both sides, but if I were to guess, and I have nothing to base this on whatsoever, I think he did it on purpose. And honestly, man, as a fan, I can't wait to see him in AEW.
Dude, you want to see that invasion, like the Ring of Honor when it was the Hardys and Young Bucks. But now you're gonna see this. Maybe hey, the Hardys and Private Party, or hey, maybe the Hardys and Lucha Bros.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
God!
Woo.
Right?
I think I know kind of the perfect place for Jeff Hardy, especially what's happened with the Briscoes and FTR at Final Battle. And that's my dream TLC match in AEW. Who else other than the master of the TLC match, Jeff Hardy? Either he could participate in the match or be a ref or be an enforcer or whatever, just all the different things that he could do. And I definitely trust Matt Hardy's word that Jeff's doing just fine. It's just like they're just not doing anything with him. So AEW, let's get the Briscoes, let's get FTR, let's get the Young Bucks, and my personal pick, the War Kings. And I don't know, hell, maybe a fifth team in there, either Hardys again or have both the Hardys be referees, because you're going to need two referees for that kind of chaotic match. So who better than the Hardys to ref that match? So please.
Too many Ned Flanders going around here. Too much.
It's a lot of it. It's a dream come true. Yes. It's the one of the matches I've been waiting for. Oh, or if not the War Kings, the Motor City Machine Guns.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Wonderful. Yes. Can we see it? And he did mention he wouldn't mind having another Ultimate Deletion match. Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. And speaking of Kevin Owens, he brought up Money Mike. He's staying. Everybody thought he was leaving. Everybody thought we were going to see Mount Rushmore together again. And looks like Kevin Owens just re-signed a contract with, of course, those Stooges up in Stanford, Connecticut. Stanford Stooges, of course. He has re-signed. The details of the contract are not there specifically yet, but for the rumor in your window, it's a 2-year extension. So he will be staying until 2024. And so shocking that he decided to stay. They had high, what the reports has been is that they were highly, wanted to keep him. And they offered him a good amount of moolah there for him to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think they didn't want him to go. So that's what, okay, we got to keep him. So I'm pretty sure Nick Khan, someone had to go to Nick Khan and tell him, look, we can't let this guy go. I mean, you can't have this shit. You already let go a lot of people, you dumb idiot. So now we got to keep this guy. Or unless Paul Levesque probably had something to say. And you know what? No. This is what I built. This is what I created, which is not really created, but what he helped him elevate more. But I don't know. This shocked me. So I'll take it back to you, Money Mike. Were you in shock? Kevin Owens re-signing.
Pleasantly surprised, I will say. Pleasantly. I think that we're full in AEW right now. You could go ahead. You could stay, Mr. Owens. And why not, right? For wrestlers 20 years ago, this was not an option, to be able to get a pay raise from your company, WWE, to prevent you from going somewhere else. Big congratulations to Kevin Owens. His bank account is going to, grow exponentially in the next few years. So yeah, Kevin Owens is the clear winner here. And he has a solid job, a good amount of income, all that great stuff that comes with it. For us fans, I do believe that he's in his mid-30s, somewhere around there. He's still young. If it's a 2-year extension or whatever, or maybe even a 3-year, there's still time for him to be able to go to AEW some other time in the future. It's possible. It can happen still. He's not 60, right? So,
No.
you know, yeah, there's time. There's time. So good for him.
Matt Callis.
I must say I gotta use once again the analogy of the big fish in the small pond. WWE is the biggest pond, but with more talent leaving, that gives you room to climb up that ladder. You know, you don't have as much competition. So you really have to use reverse psychology here. You know, it's like imagine like Eli Drake or as we know him, LA Knight now.
Let me talk
Like,
to you, man.
Let me talk to you. So LA Knight and Kevin Owens, you know, that's probably, you know, if I was either of them, I'm like, I see all these people leaving, like, all right, now's my chance to be a top guy over here. Now that the other places, you know, it's kind of, they're setting in stone who their top guys are going to be, you know, in the time being, plus the Forbidden Door swapping all those other people around. So it's either I'm the top guy here in WWE or I'm the top guy somewhere else. And, you know, AEW, all the eyes are on it. It's going to be hard to be the top guy because a lot of people are bidding for it now. It's like the stock market, you know. Everybody's buying stock in this certain thing. You know, I'll put my money over here in this other thing that isn't as popular so I can be the top guy once it does become popular again. So
good analogy. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, because of the way how it seemed that there was no way that AEW was in the was over what I'm reading is that AEW was an offer also hefty, which they did in the beginning. Because a friend of his, which someone at AEW, I don't know whose name was, no name was brought up, saying, okay, it looks like Khan is willing to offer this. It looks like when they found out, they're like, oh, hell no, we need to keep him. So they matched the offer and added more. And so that's when Kevin was, all right, you guys really want me to stay, huh? I'll stay. Fine, I'll stay. And now he did. And two others that did not stay became free agents already. That's Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly. Gargano already, he announced on his Twitch that he's taking a break. Johnny Wrestling will be back, but right now family matters to attend to. You know, I'm going to be a
family
father
matters.
Absolutely. He's going to be a father pretty soon, so he needs to attend to that first before he even decides where to go. And so I'm happy for him that he's making that decision.
He definitely knows the way.
he knows the way. Yes,
the way.
The way. And Kyle O'Reilly hasn't really said anything as of yet, but references of what I seen, on his social media, the Undisputed, so we saw that on the War Games. We saw that on the War Games, and photos of of them together. So it seems like he's heading that direction to AEW. It looks like seems that way because Tony Khan did say as well prior that a lot more debuts are coming that we're not expecting coming for 2022. Maybe the ending of 2021. We don't know. Could we see Kyle O'Reilly anytime soon debuting in AEW? Money Mike.
Adam Cole did say there's a surprise, right? Yeah.
And it's not the Young Bucks being pregnant. So,
I like surprises. Could we see it happen already? We'll find out.
Right. That's right. Matt Callis, do you feel the same?
Like I said, it's not Adam Cole. That's not where babies come from. Get that into your head already. Stop saying, like, the way he worded it, that's like you guys will be so surprised. No. Kyle O'Reilly, I don't know what his non-compete, if he's got the 30.
He's free.
He's definitely free.
It's free. Both of them.
Free, baby. He's free. It's like the Shawshank Redemption, him running outside in the rain, like, like escaping from WWE, like out in the rain.
No,
Man.
definitely.
Well, if he's free, there isn't anyone more that I want to see in the next G1 than Kyle O'Reilly. And in addition to the fact that he's got a history, he was at Wrestle Kingdom facing Adam Cole back in the day, Kyle O'Reilly. So and back in the day being at least what was like 2017, 2018, 2016, around that time.
Around that time.
So who knows? I might get to see him at Wrestle Kingdom or at any of the other events coming up. Kyle O'Reilly's got a long history, or who knows, he could be part of that April resurrection of Ring of Honor. So
That's true.
a lot of different possibilities. I mean, when Matt Cardona showed up in AEW, he was there for what, like a few months, couple
Yeah,
months.
I think a month and a half. He didn't stay much long. He was
Yeah.
there for a brief moment. I think when he mentioned, I think in an interview with Chris Van Fleet, that he didn't really want to stay there. He just wanted to do a couple appearances, and he kind of wanted to explore outside of the indie circuit and get more better nature with the indie circuit and get his feet wet. Because
We're gonna see a lot of people kind of circle in and out or try like different things, because sometimes like AEW could kind of be a little bit full, and I definitely see Kyle O'Reilly as a top guy. I loved him as Ring of Honor champion. It's gonna be hard to be champion when you're coming to other places where the card's stacked. Once again, man, this is the third or fourth time I've said this, guys. You want to say it with me? Big fish in the small pond. Yeah, I'm saying that so much. It's the case with so many wrestlers, and us musicians could almost like relate to that. Los Angeles, this is the big pond right here.
Yeah.
We got a lot of competition, but when you show up in Michigan, because there's nobody, because everybody likes to come out to shows over there, just because there's not a lot going on in a small town. Everybody will come to a backyard show just because it's something to do. And maybe that might be this case when you go to a smaller promotion. They're like, whoa, you're a biggest star here. Let's put the belt on you right away. And then bam. So who knows? Right away. Kyle O'Reilly could just pick up the AAA and the MLW titles like in his sleep. Who knows?
You never know, right? That's very, very interesting to see. We cannot wait. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again, that is it here for episode 81. We want to go ahead and thank all of our viewers and subscribers. And for our new viewers, make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, that bell, the ding, ding, ding to get all your notifications of the weekly episodes, top fives, or our vlogs, or behind the scenes, or exclusive conversations, which we'll be having a lot coming soon. We're going to get ready for 2022 because we have a lot of excitement coming to start off the year with a bang. With a bang, that's for sure. And what's going to happen here on the COD, and that is a fact. But yes, don't forget, people, we'll put the description right below to purchase your tickets now. It's already on sale for PCW Ultra on January the 28th. But we will be there as well. We'll be recording it live as well. And the main event is Alex Hammerstone defending the PCW Ultra title versus then the MLW middleweight champion Tajiri. So that's going to be a fantastic match to see. And of course, you have 5150 versus War Beast in a cage match. So that's going to be interesting to see. That's a War Games to see for sure, because you have Slice Boogie, Danny Limelight, Papa Wesco, Ruby Reyes, 5150 versus, of course, War Beast, The Sheik, Jacob Fatu, Juicy Finu, and you have Biba Van as well, who will be making her debut on that cage match as well, which I'm looking forward to see. That's going to be exciting. And I just cannot wait. So much good shit. So much good shit. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And also want to thank all of our audio platform listeners from around the world. want to go ahead and thank, of course, the Czech Republic, who are just now tuning in, Romania, Colombia, Brasil, todo el sur, Centroamérica. Muchas gracias por escuchar aquí en el Circo Debate y le agradecemos mucho por el apoyo y el soporte que le han dado todo este año del 2021, que nos quedan 2 capítulos más para acabar aquí este año del 2021. Y gracias a todos ustedes que nos escuchan aquí en el Circo Debate y lo agradecemos mucho. And of course, I'm gonna let Money Mike in German. Ja, das gut. Ja.
Ja, Deutschland, wir lieben alles Sie und danke für Hören und sehen Sie Circle Debates. Guten Tag, guten Abend. Ja, ich Mike, deine Frühstück und danke. Tschüss.
Tschüss. Right, tschüss.
Yes, I'll say something in Mandarin. Pyolia, Circle of Debate, Pyolia. King Woman the Boker. So, to all you, 谢谢.
That's right.
That's right, baby.
That's right. And thanks to all of our followers on our social media platforms. We hit the 1,000 marks on Twitter. We are 1,009 on Instagram. And we're still need to go ahead and get the group page up and send us our numbers and get it up. So to remind you guys, the link trees below where all of our platforms everywhere. And also do not forget, you can probably also find Money Mike's YouTube channel as well, and Suplexology. Stay tuned for that, and we'll be here as well on Circle Debate. Now we can see the merchandise that Mr. the most violent podcaster will put out here. And Suplexology. We will suplex.
The hell.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for tuning in here on Circle Debate, episode 1. To host Steve one out to see. Here with Mr. 69, he calls himself 69 Classic. 69 reasons, 69 answers, thoughts, lessons he gives to, and I don't know what other 69 things he does around the world. Mad counts. And of course, the uncensored, the unmatched, the unrivaled, the undisputed, and undefeated. Money Mike Lord. You know what? They will let you know, yes, let them know, Money Mike, what to do here on the C, in the O to the C.
Nosotros no solo hacemos historia, hacemos podcast. Gracias.